Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Raul.
And it's Mike.
And we'd like to welcome you back to the AO podcast, and this is episode 28. Now, real quick, before we even get into it...
This is like one of the longest setups we did.
This is probably going to be one of the most negative podcasts we've ever done.
Yeah.
And because, as you can see by the title, we're talking about two things that I personally don't really want to talk about. But one of them is a given because it's like we have to. But then the other one was all fucking Mike's idea.
It was because I thought it was very fitting. And you guys seen the title. I think the two worst words you can see together are in the title right now.
So, but before we get into that, because I fucking forgot last time, like halfway into the episode, make sure you follow us on our socials down in the description. As always, make sure you subscribe here on YouTube, listen to us on Apple Podcast and Spotify, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. All the links are down in the description. Now, with that being said, you know what, Mike? Before we actually just dive right into it, because like I said, this is going to be a very fucking negative podcast. I want to shed a little bit of positivity for a bit before we just dive into the negativity.
Yes.
And so I didn't ask you this beforehand, nor did I tell you. So there's going to be a fresh question that I wanted to ask you, but then I also I was going to answer it myself, just so people could get a better understanding as to why we not only do the podcast, but all the other things that we've done so far as like creative wise.
Yeah.
So I think the question that I want to ask is, what do you think? What is it about whatever field you want to get into? Like I know you're like very passionate about theater and like movies and stuff. What was it that made you passionate about that? Because I know as sure as hell like what mine was. So I don't know if you want to go first. But yeah, just basically explain a little bit about what basically what your passion is and why it is your passion.
Oh, I did not expect this genuine question. And it's like I think before all that I wanted to make video games. Like, I think when we met in middle school, you heard me talk about how I wanted to, like, make actual, like, video games and stuff.
Yeah. That was also, like, our peak game days back then, too.
We were playing a lot of Xbox and stuff, but I was like I play a lot of GameCube, like Zelda, The Wind Waker, Smash Brothers, and Melee, you know, those two specific games that made me want, like, oh, I want to, like, really do this. And then, like, in high school, that's when I was like, oh, I actually want to really do movies instead. You know, and then like I got into college, I was like, okay, this theater shit.
Wait, was there any like with the movie shit? Was there any specific movie where you were like, oh, like this is something that I actually kind of want to do?
I used to watch a lot of movies with my grandparents and my parents, so like I already actually had like a lot more like movie knowledge than I realized actually. So but like the movie that actually like made me be like, oh, I really want to do this is Django Unchained. Like, that movie, I force you to watch that movie. That's a fucking good fucking movie. That's a fucking amazing movie. You know, I remember the very intense skull scene that DiCaprio monologues about. You were slurping spaghetti really fucking hard. So he'd be like, DiCaprio would be really racist, and then in the middle of this monologue, fuck, you would be like...
I don't even remember that. But I probably did do that.
I was like, and I was like, I was sitting next to him, like he's doing it in my ear.
Okay, so
that's what made me want to do movies. Was that movie Django Unchained? I was like, oh, and then I saw Pulp Fiction, and then the Brazilian movie City of God, very intense movies, and I was like, okay, these like City of God is such a masterpiece, one of my favorites.
What made you like theater?
Theater, I was later in senior year of high school. I don't know why, actually, but I was, like, getting into musicals, like, movie musicals, so I was doing that. But then I was like, you know what? Let me check this musical theater shit out, you know? And all of it was, like, West Side Story. Like, I loved the movie, and I was like, okay, I need to know how they made this movie, and, like, what was the original musical like? And then I went to that, Sondheim, and then Hamilton. You know, Hamilton was huge
I have a feeling. I don't
Hamilton
know.
was huge. I've been bringing up Hamilton a lot, and I'm gonna bring it up specifically for this episode and later on this because there's a lot of comparisons I have with
Hamilton.
with Hamilton and
I think
Revival.
Hamilton is when you got into Hamilton. I think
That was
that's when I started to notice that
that
you were
was
really into theater.
that was I was like because I was just like, oh, you could like do this goofy shit, but like really really fucking fun and good because like you hear like founding fathers rapping, you're like, this is the most cringy fucking high school teacher type shit you could ever hear. But then you hear the music, you're like, what the fuck, this is actually like kind of fucking good and fucking nuts. I think it's still a product of its time for sure, but like in a lot of ways. But like I listen to a lot of the songs still now, like Say No to This, it's just like where the cuckold line is too.
Yeah,
It's really funny.
if you know,
if you
if you want to get that reference, we'll make sure you watch the last episode. But no, yeah. So I just wanted to ask that. I guess mine basically. I'll try to make it short. I originally wanted to be in radio. There was something that I liked about obviously not so much now, but the thing that the mystique that I kind of liked about radio that it had back in the early or in the 90s around that time is that obviously the social media wasn't really a thing. Cell phones or smartphones weren't really a thing either. And it kind of felt like radio at the time was a form of media that you could get into, and you could at the very least still have a little bit of amnesty because it's not people just constantly looking at your face. And also too, I thought it was in a pretty unique challenge in the sense that because people like for example, let's say there's an actress around that time that if she were to become super famous, a lot of it would and this goes for guys and girls too. It would depend on their look as much as their talent, especially around that time too. But the thing that was unique about radio is that I felt people instead had to fall in love with your personality in order for them to make it stick, because obviously you're just hearing at that time you were only hearing somebody's voice. You didn't really have any idea what they looked like. So that was kind of the unique thing that kind of drew me to it. And then shout out to my older brother, because it was through him that I found out about. For those of you who are not from California, you're not gonna know. Not only that, if you're not from California and you're not in our age demographic, because this is a show that was actually geared more towards people in, I would say, in their mid to late 30s. Are people who were fans of this show. This is not a show that's common between our age demographic. I know that for a fact. But
people older than us.
But shout out to my older brother, because he's the one that actually put on me to. There was a very popular alternative rock station here in the Los Angeles area called K-Rock. And they were basically the number one alternative rock station for a long time here. And it was in, I believe, the early 90s. They signed a morning radio show, which would later become the Kevin and Bean Show. And that
classic radio show
that since then became kind of like a LA staple as far as radio is concerned. And those two guys, not only did they have almost 2 decades of amazing work together, they've also been inducted into the Broadcasting Hall of Fame. So it was a very, very impactful show. And the thing that I liked about it is that they were kind of, especially in the early days, they were considered the misfits of radio. They were not the popular show at the time. They were kind of like just these kids trying to basically navigate their way around having a radio show. And so that's kind of the thing that I liked about it, the charm that it had, where you kind of realize that you didn't have to always have everything so polished or try to be perfect all the time. Because it pays off in the long run if you're just real and authentic to yourself. And that's one of the things that drew me to them. And I found out about them because when my brother lived with us, he would always blast their podcast whenever he was walking around the house or whatever. And so I found out about that show, and then I later found out about Loveline, which was a similar show, except it was a nighttime call-in radio show where people called in for questions regarding relationship advice or like addiction, those kind of topics. So, and they were on the same station. But funny enough, that Kevin and Bean show, while it was what kind of made me fall in love with radio, it was also the thing that made me fall out of love with radio as well. Yeah. Because when the pandemic hit, obviously a lot of people started to work from home, and they were slowly letting the morning staff and well, actually, I won't get into it because I don't want to make it too long-winded. But one of the co-hosts of the show a year prior to this happening had left the show for personal reasons. Yeah. But ever since that moment happened, I kind of already had in the back of my mind that the show is kind of gonna go off the rails at some point. And unfortunately, I was right, because in the midst of the pandemic, basically the entire morning radio show crew was fired.
Oh yeah. That was like a big deal.
Yeah, and I was like, that, because the thing too is also that not only did that, kill my love for radio, but it also was the thing that made me realize that I would never want to work for anybody else.
Yeah, it's dehumanizing.
Yeah, because the thing is, like I said, those guys had a Hall of Fame career, definitely legendary broadcasters in their own right, and they gave this station like 2 decades of their life. Yeah. And to just...
all of it thrown away.
Yeah, like, and to be let go like that, I think they were fucking fired over the phone. Yeah. So it's like, for all that work to end up like that, I think it's just a fucking shame, and I would never want to put myself in that position. So that's why that even though it was a bummer, because it was one of my favorite shows, it definitely did teach me a lot about what I want for myself and not wanting to work for other people, and also how these big corporations really don't fucking care for you, like, at all. Yeah, no. And so that's what my love for radio then turned into my love for podcast and stuff like that, which is why me and Mike are doing this now. Yeah. This was something that I really wanted to do for a long time. But...
and there have been attempts in, like, for us to do something like this together.
Like, because the thing is, like, I've always, I even before this, I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the very first episode of the podcast. Yeah. But I actually used to have a weed YouTube channel before I started doing this.
And you had, like, a growing audience, too.
Yeah, so I was, and funny enough, I won't get into it, but I was actually thinking of going back and doing that. Because I'm not going to lie, I have kind of missed it. It's just certain restrictions that are a pain in the ass when it comes to videos like that. But, so yeah, that's essentially how my love and then hatred for radio turned into my love for podcasting, and which is hence why we're doing this now. But I just wanted to get something, positive out the way, put that out there, like, just a positive message. Like, if you have a passion about something, forth. Like, go for it and just try it out and see how it goes for you. Even though, like, because the thing too that I want to stress is it's not gonna pay off initially. Like, you're not gonna have initial success when you start doing whatever it is you want to do. You got to put that time into it, and then hopefully, eventually, like, you'll catch a big break. But it's just something that, go out there, and whatever you want to do, just try it out and see.
And keep going.
And Don't see how stop. It is. Even if, you're the only one that believes in yourself, just do it. But, just a quick...
I think to add into that, like, I forgot to mention I'm also, like, a hip-hop artist also. And I think that out of all of the things I wanted to pursue, it's that one that, like, got the most, like, restrictions and backhandedness. Because it's crazy. Even when I told you, I was like, I think I want to do rap. I think even you're like, you're probably shocked. You like,
I was shocked. But we were also in high school.
Yeah, I was like, you rapping? I don't know. And like, I got, and a lot of people could tell you, like, I got like a lot of people being like, what the fuck, him, or rapping is insane. And there's a lot. And I was dropping a lot of songs that semester too.
If they only would have known, man, you would have ended up getting a feature with. I'm not gonna say it. Because I don't even know what that food is doing you anymore. So I'm not, like.
Oh my god!
Wow. I just really why did I go to the why did I go to the most fucking negative thing I could think of? Like I could have been like he moved out of state. I was like, nah, he probably.
That's the. I know what you're talking about too. I'll talk about it after, but like that's the most.
I legit caught myself doing like, God damn, I did not, like, I legit did not mean to say that. That was, yeah, that was pretty bad. I apologize. And you probably moved or something.
Probably ever said. And you said some wild shit.
That was bad.
God.
But I'm glad I caught myself because I was like, yeah, wait a minute. I did not mean to say that shit. But
God. You caught. You know, I say a wild shit every day. Every time we do episode is wild shit you can take out of context. But that caught me so off fucking guard. But to end it all, there's a lot of rap songs, some are streaming on SoundCloud and Spotify. I do want to try to get back to it. I haven't had the time, but I do. There's some songs I've made that I'm really proud of, and I'm like, this is such a banger. I should, But also, I'll say this is from experience. There's times where I stopped, and there's sometimes where I'm just like, I think I'm just gonna stop and give up and stuff. And sometimes you will have those times, But what I regret is actually like, really like, I legit stopped for like a while. And I like I'm going back into it, and I'm just like, I really, there were things here. I just had to keep going. So from me to you, someone who's stopped and gave up before, just keep going because you will regret it later. Now I'm back in it, and I need to do this now.
Yeah, like if there's something out there that you really want to do, just pursue it and see what happens, man. But just a quick positive message. I'm glad we got that laugh out of the way.
Oh, God. Positive message. Also you.
Yeah.
Man, what the fuck? Like, damn.
No, so...
Speaking of dead,
so...
America, right?
So, listen, so in the last
also,
episode...
I think you need to, I think we have to go back to this, because it was covering your face for... I just noticed it was covering your face for a bit. I think just like that is fine.
All right, I got it.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
All right. But no, this is cool because when you had it originally, you had it all the way over there. I was like,
yeah.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to fucking
extend your neck like that. What are you gonna say?
You're gonna hate me because you're gonna call me a fucking bully. I was gonna be like,
I'm like the Terrifier kid. You fucking dickheaded fuck.
Yeah, but no,
you're fucking on one today.
Hey, listen, but I can't. I mean, I'm not lying. But
you're fucking on, man. This episode's really taking out the worst thing.
And it's not even we're
not even there.
You haven't even got to the bad part.
I know. You're trying to be positive, and you're like, damn, what are we? Shit, fuck.
No,
shit.
okay, but so in the last episode. We left off. We literally recorded the last episode on election day.
Yeah, right. Hours before the thing was casted and shit.
Okay, now mind you, so I went on to vote later on in the day. I think I voted. Yeah, I voted at night, before the things closed.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. So I was like I said, I've mentioned before. I am a night owl, so I do stay up pretty late. So I think it was either around 2 or 3 in the morning when they finally announced that it was projected that Trump was going to win.
Yeah.
And I remember when I saw that, I posted it on my story, and I was like, damn, I did not think it was going to be this fast.
It was fucking
I legit, because the thing is, here's the thing, I don't really pay attention, I didn't pay close attention to how close the race was, because the last thing that I had heard was that they were pretty even. And so when I saw how fast...
Kamala had a chance.
Yeah, so when I saw how fast he fucking won, I was like, what the fuck happened?
He took... Man, still suffering from the fucking laugh I had. Jesus, sorry. Oh my god, you caught me so off guard. I'm sorry, but that was the most off guard I felt.
Yeah, I think
so far
I
this
legit
podcast.
think that's the most I've made you laugh on the podcast.
That
so
was
far.
fucking crazy.
I cannot wait to. That's the clip I'm gonna fucking post for the sneak
Oh
peek.
my god. Oh shit. But anyways, oh my god. But like, I came home. I came home later. I think I was working during election day too. I think I went. No, I wasn't. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. But like, I went to the living room, and I saw the TV, and I'm like, oh. And then each swing state was like red. I'm like, usually we have Democrats have one of these. He took all 7 of them. That's because like we know there's states that are gonna be like blue. You know, Alabama's red. What? Mississippi? Ain't no way. What? Is it Mississippi or Tennessee? Which one's the fucking state or city? This is that fucking, our education has failed us because we don't know if Tennessee or like Mississippi. No, it has to be Mississippi, right? Or that's the.
Wait.
Fuck. Fuck. This is embarrassing.
Now you're fucking me up because oh fuck! No, I was confused.
Okay, it's Tennessee. Tennessee's the state and Mississippi's the city.
I was confusing Mississippi with Minnesota.
Mississippi. Oh,
I'm so glad I didn't say anything because I was gonna be like, isn't Mississippi in Minnesota?
You. Yeah, it's a borough. It's a borough. Oh man, but like the states were going towards the states they were going to. California's blue, and then Arizona's fucking,
I don't know why I just had a random thought. Indianapolis, even though I've never been there in my life, it just seems like it's the whitest fucking state.
Wait, Indianapolis or Indian?
Wait, why did you fucking pronounce it like that? You're like, Indianapolis? Why'd you pronounce the Indian so hard? Wait.
Indianapolis. Okay, yeah, Indianapolis. Okay, all right, yeah.
Wait, what's Indianapolis in?
We
This is literally just proving that we're bad at fucking geography.
It's a city in Indiana. Look, a stupid name for a city.
I thought it was Oh my god, dude.
He's just like, what do we call the city in Indiana? Indianapolis. Like a fucking dickheads.
I really didn't fucking pay attention.
Indianapolis. No, you did it. You want to know why? Can I tell the story about how you history class?
Oh.
Mother, our teacher's like, name 3 continents or countries.
We were taking a test.
It was like, name 3 continents or countries, one of those. But the question didn't matter, honestly. You put, because they were like, all right, switch papers. It was time to correct each other's papers, And even if they were your friends, they wouldn't change the score because they would just tell you you're a dumbass, which is exactly what I did here. Because motherfucker put Paris, France, Africa. One's the city, one's the country, one's the continent. What the fuck?
I fucked up 3 different ways. That's amazing.
That's a fucking. Oh my! I remember my face just being. That class was full of like dumb shit too.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
Since I called you out, I would have. Have you called me out yet on what I did in that class?
Oh wait, okay. I'm glad.
Okay, let's lighten this election shit up real quick. Just to talk about how America failed our education.
So, this was okay. So, here's the thing. So, Mike, back in the day, like back in high school, I'll say that while you were still kind of wild, I feel like it was a lot more controlled. Back
in the day?
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I feel like back then you weren't as so sure about it.
Oh, okay.
But like now you'll just like that. You'll just let that shit fly and not care. But I feel like back then you cared a little bit more. And
was this the turning point?
No, but this is what I'm saying. This is why, like, when you did this, especially in class in front of everybody. That's why I was like, I was not expecting you to fucking do this. Because Mike now, I can see you doing that shit.
Yeah.
But back then, so we were giving a presentation in our history class, and our history teacher at the time was also the football coach. And so
that explains a lot.
So we're true, but so we're fucking doing a presentation about the Columbine shooting, and this motherfucker at the end, we got to the fucking finish point, mind you.
Yeah, we were like 2 slides before the finish.
Really? I thought it was at the end.
It was near the end. That's why it was like very impactful because we still had to keep going.
Oh, okay. So towards the fucking end, Mike decides that he wants to share a little fun fact with the class, and he fucking tells these motherfuckers that it's like, the Columbine shootings happened on 420. And then he's like, fucking, and the thing that made it worse is that our fucking teacher.
No, because I was like, do you guys know the date of the Columbine shooting? What was the date? And then immediately, I know who this is. I'll tell you who this is. Somebody in the way back was like 420, and I'm like, yep. And then the class laughed, but the coach was not laughing.
So the coach didn't understand the reference, so he's like 420. Whoa, what is that? And then that's how he used to talk, by the way. Yes. And so,
what?
But then so then he asked that, and then so Mike has to try. Wait, did you explain? I can't remember.
I didn't explain it. I just kept saying, well, it's the date.
I'm like, you fucking, because this whole time and
all three of you guys.
Yeah, I was so disappointed, and I was just like, why would you mention that?
He was staring dead at me, like he did not expect this at all. Because I think I knew I was like, we're talking about this. I'm gonna mention this because I think people need to know if they don't.
Yeah, that was the moment where dude, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah, I can't believe I did that in front of a class. Oh my god.
But no, so getting back to it, man. It finally was projected, and then I think the morning after was literally announced that he won.
Yeah.
And this was it. You know what I will say? This shit felt very swift for all the shit that we had to deal with, leading up to it. Because it was for people that really pay attention to it, I feel like it was months on months of stress for them. Yeah. During this whole election, and for it to just end so fucking suddenly, just
like that, and people were like, "We."
And she even literally, I think I don't know if it was she didn't get. I don't think she gave a speech. After.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a day or so after she immediately was like, "All right, yeah, I'm gonna concede."
Yeah. It's just she's not gonna fight. You know what Trump did last time he lost? He calls an insurrection. I don't think this is the best time to really back out if you're really down for it. And then, although I will say he's still funny, he's a big piece of shit, big fucking piece of shit. You know, I saw a tweet that's like, man, fucking. It's just a black guy tweeted it. He's like, man, fucking Trump hits Mexicans more than blacks. That's fucking insane for a fucking U.S. congressman. Jeez. He's like, y'all are done.
No, but I think okay.
Yeah,
so he is.
We are Mexicans, by the way.
I don't fucking.
just in case you forgot that content.
I'm not a fan of Trump. No. Either, but I will say. He is fucking funny. I can't take that. Okay.
He's fucking hilarious.
So mind you. Like I said, they were projected to win around. They announced that at around 3 a.m. of election or after election day.
Yeah.
And so Trump came out to give his basically victory speech, right? And this motherfucker, I've never fucking seen a president do this before. This motherfucker had legit 10 to 15 minutes of just randomly talking about one of Elon Musk's rockets. I was watching what the fuck is going on right now?
What the fuck does this have to do with you winning?
He was literally describing watching one of Elon's fucking rockets land. it was. I didn't know what the fuck I was watching, but then so that happened, and it was crazy to see the aftermath of that because a lot of people were fucking upset.
Yeah, as some people should be, you know, but like Democrat, but like also like. In no way I'm like shocked by it. I was shocked of how fast he won. I'll say that. But like looking back, it's just like I know. Like I think last time it was like very. I said it was like very unpredictable. But then like when I walked into that room, I was like, oh, I guess not. I guess it's just like in hindsight, I look back, I'm like, the Democrats really fucked that shit up again. Yep. They lost to him again. Oh, like how do you do that twice? You know, the way you burped is the same. Sorry. But, like, how do you do that twice? Like, and then I saw before the election started, I think Clinton was being interviewed, and she had the audacity to tell Kamala how to go against Trump, like, giving her advice on a fucking talk show. But, like, also, you know, I would give that advice, but if I didn't win, I think I shouldn't give that advice. But I guess Kamala listened. And listen to her advice.
You know what I was telling my sister the other day? Like, after we announced, or it had announced that he won, I was telling her that I think the Democrats, all they really need is a really good shit talker.
Yeah.
Like, somebody, like, imagine a Trump, but, like, the Democratic version. That would be fucking... Because here's the thing.
You know what tweet I saw? It was like the exact same thing, but they were like, the Democrats need a Joe Rogan. They need somebody like someone who
Joe out of all people.
I know that's what I'm saying. That's what
the motherfucker.
This is what I mean by how Democrats are fucking idiots.
The motherfucker literally talked about fucking monkeys ripping like shit apart, and he like talks about aliens. This is the motherfucker you want represent like. Oh, I'm gonna have to say. God damn it! This fucking episode, dude.
Oh, gee, yeah. You should be. Are you sure you didn't support Trump, dude? Ooh. Let's not say. Let's not keep going.
Dude, this episode has really brought out the worst in me.
Oh God.
God.
Man, you're hitting me. You're punching me constantly in the face, man. He's fucking. Oh my God.
No, this was if any episode this was gonna happen on this one, and it's probably gonna happen even more later on.
He was like, just like, you know.
No, but yeah, it's like, why the fuck would you want
a Democratic Joe Rogan would probably be more worse than the Joe Rogan we have now. So like, yeah, fuck yeah, Democrats lost. It's fucking shame. Not really, because they fucking deserve it. And then like Trump's giving a speech earlier, he was like, I gotta bring back prayers for schools, and I'm like, no, that's literally violating the First Amendment of the fucking Declaration of Independence. Like no, please, I don't need that.
So I don't know. I mean, so basically, kind of just to wrap this up, because we didn't really want to spend that much time on it.
Yeah.
But it was obviously something we had to talk about. The dogs think we should stop talking about it.
The dogs like stop talking about Trump. Stop talking about Kamala. And then like it's fucking like I
shut up.
And then the dogs talk about how like people are like what's gross it's just like about the internet and like the election. It's just like there's gonna be like certain parts of both audiences that are just gonna sexualize everything. You know, and then first of all I kept saying like AI Trump bot shit, and I'm like, we know he doesn't look like
I'm
this.
Glad I haven't seen
you know, and it's just like same with Kamala, just like
I've seen the Kamala ones a lot. Dude.
And I'm like, why the fuck is this on? Like, you think this is gonna do something on both sides? You know, it's probably gonna convince like the right to be like, oh. No, like that might actually convince them, and then the left is gonna be like, no, what the fuck is this? Like the strategies from both sides were insane, but I think the Democrats really fucking fumbled this shit, and like they deserve to lose. But fuck Trump.
Listen,
fuck Trump too.
I have no fucking idea what's gonna happen these next 4 years. But I mean, the first go around.
And he handled that in the worst way possible too. Like, and then people,
You know what sucks? Even like 2 or 3 years later, I think I still have to censor that on YouTube.
I don't know. It happened.
I know. Well,
I'm telling the audience, not you.
Yeah, no.
It happened.
I know. So it's ridiculous that we can't even fucking say the thing.
I know. It literally changed our... It's like, imagine like... no, fucking, what did they have in the early, 1900s? That one fucking... The Spanish flu? What the fuck is it?
I was going to say the bubonic plague.
You fucking... The one that happened in the fucking England lands?
That's the only... Oh, shit, that didn't even happen. Oh,
no, it was not here.
Never mind. Listen, if you can't tell by this episode, I fucking suck at history.
You suck at geography, history, fucking math.
Fuck you, math was terrible. But
fuck math.
So yeah, well, we don't know exactly what's gonna happen all these 4 years. All we can really do is just sit back and watch.
Hang tight, create communities, and think more of yourself and about others. Make sure you're healthy and safe.
Now
take precautions.
Now moving on from some bullshit onto some other bullshit.
Now moving on to arguably an even worse topic.
I can't believe I had to listen to this shit again.
The election. And yes, we are talking about the aftermath of the 2024 election, but also I thought it was a very compelling a combination of ideas.
I hate that this made sense.
To put this together because they're about the critiques of America and how sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up and sometimes not release anything. Like something like this, and 7 years. I'm glad time has not been well to this album because it really hasn't.
Listen, if you're an Eminem stan that's coming across this video, I would click off before you get triggered.
Oh my God.
This is not going to be a positive.
You know what's funny? I think Stans will take that. I'd be like, I would never get triggered. I've listened to the most offensive Eminem. How dare you? And then that's how they get triggered. But I think even Eminem stans have to
No, they don't.
No, not. Oh God. Oh.
Not the stans. Maybe a casual fan, not the stans.
Oh. But anyways, we are of course talking about Eminem's 2017 album, Revival. A sequel that nobody wanted, not even Eminem fans, to Recovery and Relapse. And first of all, I want to start with a precursor of where I was when this came out, because this came out almost 7 years ago. It came out December 15th, 2017. I was gonna wait a little longer, but I also don't want to do this album during Christmas time. But it made sense now because of the how I feel about this album is how I feel about America right now. I think it's pretty dog shit, and it's a pretty fucking awful thing. And I remember when I first listened to this album, the hype was not there. I saw the track list like everybody else and was like, oh, that looks bad. But also I looked at Damn's track list and thought that looked bad. That looked a little shaky. But Damn is my favorite hip hop album. So I was like, okay, maybe we could get something good out of this, out of these features and stuff, And then I listened to the album and that.
Wait, so where were you when you heard it?
I was in my house.
I was probably at my house too.
Yeah, I was in my house. I was walking around the kitchen. I was like, okay, because I was listening to it when it dropped, so it was around it was at nighttime and stuff, and I haven't seen any reviews yet and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, time to go into, because I liked MMLP too.
Yeah,
that's actually, I think it was a really good to decent album with a lot of really big highlights in Eminem's career. So I was like, okay, he's Eminem, he thrives on people doubting him and these concepts, big inspiration for me. Even you can correlate that to what we were talking about earlier about trying to just pursue that passion, even when people turn, or question it. So it's just all right, let's go. And then the first song, I'm not gonna talk. Okay.
So just give your thoughts of the overall album first.
Yes. I was losing my tongue. It's my bad. Yeah, but I just don't like the album, and I guess we're gonna go track by track. Well, and you said, or we were talking about this earlier in the car. You said you don't remember where you were at.
No, but now that I mentioned it, I was probably at my house as well when I heard this.
Yeah.
And funny enough, initially when I heard it for the first time, I actually didn't mind it that much.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that I wasn't really, because I feel like over the years since that album, I've kind of like grown out of listening to Eminem.
Yeah.
And I think this was before that had happened still, so that's probably why I didn't mind it as much.
Yeah. Because we both like MMLP too.
Yeah, but then fucking looking at, because the thing is, I haven't gone back to listen to that full album since the year that it came out. Like, I've legit only gone back to like one or two songs from there.
Damn.
Since then. But
so it's been a big while.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've heard the full album, and I gotta say, man, I had to re-listen to it last night, so I could have.
You hated me, by the way.
Yeah, I hated you for even bringing up the idea.
You hated the fact that I thought this was a good topic
because it does fucking work. That's what even makes me even more mad. But so I listened to it for the first time in a long time last night.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, man, it's been a long fucking time that I've listened to an album that I thought was so bad that I just wanted it to fucking end.
Yeah, no, this is... By the way, I think it's like the worst album. For me, it's like the worst album I've ever heard. And even there might be worse albums that like probably poorly mixed or like have really bad content in them. But I think just as an Eminem fan, listening to this, like the rage. And
by his standards, this was really bad.
Yeah, especially after like a actually decent like.
Yeah, because I've even mentioned it. I think I mentioned it in a previous episode. MMLP 2 was my last favorite Eminem album.
Yeah, and then I guess we could start going track by track. But honestly, like, I don't think Walk on Water with Beyonce is that bad. I don't think it's like very appealing to me, and I think I don't like the way he's. I
was mentioning this to my sister last night. I gotta say, this, like, what a fucking waste for a fucking Beyonce feature.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, out of all the times that you could have worked with Beyonce, like, it had to be for this fucking album.
It had to be for this album, and honestly, like, it sounds like a intro to like a Disney song. Like, it sounds like and that's where I'll probably be. Like, I don't know why, but I'll probably be mentioning like Hamilton a lot, because this is it's theatrical in the wrong ways. It is very, and a lot of the ways, and I'll probably talk about it when we get to a certain track that about like there's attempts at like social commentary or like empathetic, like spilling his guts out, or like him being emotional and honest about things. But every time he goes at them, I feel like he's writing them and he's going at them at like the worst ways possible. Because like Walk on Water is like him being honest about like him as an artist, comparing himself to like Jesus, and shit like that. And then, like, just like his expectations and all that. And I'm like, okay, that's actually honest. That's actually like pretty good to think about. But I don't know if this track works, because I think a lot of this album is like the beats and like his words and how he flows is like are very contrasting. Sounds like he's spiraling. It's like, but like also I don't think it's that bad as an intro. Like, I just think it's like kind of low mid tier, honestly. Is there anything else you want to add to that track?
Bitch, I wrote Stan. That's it.
I will say that ending is kind of cool.
That's the only positive I can take with that fucking song.
So you're not a fan of Beyonce on it? Or
no, like, I'm just mad that he fucking wasted her on this album.
Yeah, it sounded like some Disney ass shit. And then track 2 is when shit hits the fan immediately with Believe. Oh man. Wow, what a fucking terrible, first of all, terrible follow-up. Like, the ending of Walk on Water is like, oh, I'm about to go in on y'all motherfuckers and shit. You know, I was in suck my dick and shit.
Believe is the one where he has that stupid bar about, like, I got the air about me like
wind chimes? Yeah, oh, ooh.
I'm not gonna lie, while I was listening to this, I was mainly clocking in on how fucking bad and corny the bars were.
No, it's just like, it's fucking awful. Yeah, and also the mixing, it sounds terrible. It sounds so fucking bad. Like, it's not even enjoyable to really, like, listen to. To be honest, it's just like, I think I wrote down, I'm way in the sky. Like, it's just like, yeah, do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking, I'm like, wow, fucking crazy lazy. This sounds like I mixed it, you know, and my songs somehow sound better than this. And I don't know how to mix, but I mix my own songs, and you could tell. But like, they sound better than this. Like, I'm like, he has like infinite amount of money, like to have people mix things for him. You know, he's Eminem. Like, why do songs sound like this? And they sound like this throughout the entire album and shit. It's a terrible motivational song too. Like, if you really look at the lyrics as well, you know, it sounds like he's talking about like how I did this and you could do this and like how I, you know, it's just like, but it's like he's trying to be positive, but it's like it just makes me feel bad. And then, but like I will say, there's a when he goes oh my god, Hassan with the flow, that like scheme is actually really actually good. But that's the only good thing about this song. I fucking hate it. I think it's awful.
Okay, so
track number 3, it is, let me see. Oh, I keep forgetting how bad these songs are every time I look at them. Chloroseptic.
Oh my! Wait a minute. Now let me just talk my shit real quick.
Yeah.
So
I hate the song too.
So like I said, I haven't gone back and listened to this album in a long ass fucking time, and Chloroseptic to me, like I had completely forgotten about the album version of it ever since the remix with 2 Chainz and that guy Fresher actually rapping on it instead of just doing the hook. That's like what I know that Chloroseptic song would be. Like, every time I think about that song, I think about the remix.
That remix is solid.
But holy shit, it had been... I legit haven't heard the album version in such a long time, dude. When I was listening to that, I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking bad.
Chloroseptic. It's been a while since you've heard the track.
Yeah, and it was just so bad, man. It was so fucking bad. It doesn't even compare. The remix is like 10 times
remix
better.
Is so good too, you know. And also there's a thing when he shouts out like sex crime. I'm like what the fuck is he talking about? Like, it's just like, it's like there's moments in here where he's trying to be like place little things here and there and like drops that don't work. Like, some of the beat drops on this song are fucking awful timing all throughout round. Like, I'm glad the remix just washes this shit. It's a fucking terrible. What a waste of Fresher too, because he sounds decent on this version too. About like the fact that he just cut not only his verse but 2 Chainz verse and saved it to when he had to come back to re-criticize the people who criticized the album. It's like, what the fuck?
Fresher's verse was actually dope on
and the original, and you know for a fact he recorded that thinking he's going to be on the track with Eminem and stuff. So it's just like, what? Like, he just took the whole song and he tried to do all these fucking Migos type flows and stuff. And I'm like, bro, get it. We don't want you. You know, if you're going to do triplets, which lyrical rappers do triplets well, do it right.
Oh, that's the song where he had that fucking annoying ass flow that I hated.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm
like,
I
bro,
hated that so much.
You're an old man. Don't do this, please. And then track 4 is Untouchable.
Oh my god. If we want to talk about production,
we talk about musical theater. The
fucking
tracks.
Cheech and Chong sample that is used on this. I'm like, I don't want to fucking hear this. I don't want to hear Eminem over a fucking Cheech and Chong sample.
Yeah, no, and that Cheech and Chong song he fucking uses is a good song. It is
a good song.
But like the way it's like used here, ooh, we got scared. It's just like, not only that, the track concept itself, like about like him being from a white cop perspective into like a black, like I don't know, and like I get the intention, but like I don't think you're the one who should like not only write that but also be that type of side. I think what I think too. When I don't think the beat is terrible. I don't think it's that good either, but I don't think it's terrible. I think it has potential on both sides of the beats. But like, and I think the beat does get better. But it's first 6 minutes. All these tracks, by the way, have been 5.5 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Really fucking long tracks that don't need to be this long. But I will say, there's a line in the second part where he's like, pull us by our own bootstraps, but where the fuck are the boots? I'm like, okay, that's a good line, but like, too bad the verse is just like, it's just lazy. It felt like a Logic track. If in that Logic era, it's just like, bro, you're like better at concepts and execution better than this. But I will say, if he was gonna lean to this like cop type shit, who would have been like a good like feature to use to do that well? Run the Jewels, like Kill the Mic and an LP. To bring like more political, daring, overt aspect in, to actually have different voices in the track, and have them write the verses for your songs, So like, I get what he was trying to doing, but I think he just goes about the wrong way every time. Yeah. Anything else you have for that?
No.
Track.
Bad.
Oh, he was fucking. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. These songs get worse every time I look at them. Fucking River and Sheeran.
That's the one where he talks about
the song where he talks about women and
getting pregnant. Mike, I had to censor that. That's why I didn't want to say it.
Shit. What's another word for that?
Let me
look it up.
Not having a
baby. Yeah. That's not one word. Yeah, no.
The fuck is Quidditch? I never referenced Quidditch, but I don't know what the fuck that
is. Quidditch is the fucking game they play in Harry Potter.
Oh.
What was the context you're gonna use that for?
I thought it was a word game. I mean, what the fuck is this Quidditch over here? Trying to find a word that... But I guess it's not the same thing, so never mind.
Quidditch.
Hurry up, fool. I want to get through these tracks.
Oh my god. We have to talk about them.
You do. I don't want to.
No, River. What's your feeling about that track?
I hated it.
Okay, remind me. Oh, your booty is heavy duty.
Like diarrhea. And all this over a fucking rock instrumental.
Joan Jett, I love rock and roll, which a song I really like, very nostalgic for me, and he just butchers it, And it's like
Benny.
Not like Ben, no, it feels like a machine made it, not Conway, and the podcast.
I hate that you followed up my
the podcast is, and this podcast is West Side, no guns though.
Shut up.
And that's how we roam in these streets.
You made it bad 3 different ways. Why would you do that?
Shout out to them for not being on this album when they were signed to Shady. Well, at least one of them was. 2 of them were. But like, but those Shady projects are good. Those Griselda Shady products are really fucking good. But yeah, tracks, terrible beat, terrible bars, terrible song, awful shit. I think it's one of his worst songs.
Booty is heavy duty like diarrhea is the line that I always remember from that song.
Oh yeah, and then there's the revival interlude. How do you feel about that? No.
Skip.
Yeah. It was like a 20-second interlude's crazy. And you have to buy this on streaming, the 20-second interludes cost money. That's fucking brutal. But yeah, and then Like Home. Oh my god. That did, first of all, the song didn't work twice. It didn't work twice. One of the most pandering, awful, most like lazily patriotic, crazy how not only Alicia Keys is on this fucking dumb song, and he has some of his worst songs on here too. Her worst bars, like this Pickles or whatnot, what have you. That's not him, that was me. This Pickles not what we have to deal with or something. I'm like, no.
Oh yeah,
Cannot see, would not see, it's just like, no, fuck that. And not only that, who co-produced this, or at least helped produce this?
Who?
Jess Blaze.
Damn.
Yeah, fucking nuts. And then there's
wait, that's not who it is. Who the fuck? Who is? Which producer is it that dates Alicia Keys?
Oh, I don't fucking know.
I think it was. It's not. It's not. No, I think it's fucking. What's the name? Swizz Beats.
Swizz Beats. Yeah.
Yeah.
But just play. I'm like, wow, fucking amazing producer on that song's crazy. Yeah, and you use that song to tell me happy birthday on Instagram.
Oh yeah,
you did. It's fucking funny. And then fuck you, by the way. I fucking hate it.
Oh yeah, that's a fun little fact. It's kind of a tradition every year when it's his birthday. I'll post like a super embarrassing.
The worst pick
the worst pick I can find of you.
Yeah, you have other people help you do it too.
And then I just find like the worst Eminem song ever and put it over the story.
Yeah, and then thankfully for him, there's a lot of Eminem songs to fill our lives. That
literally, I could literally do the next 17 years with just these songs.
Yes. Yes. And then the fucking terrible. Bad Husbands is really bad too. Yep. I think the sentiment's nice.
Yeah, the sentiment is nice in that song. It's just not a good song.
No, everything about it's bad. I still think it's a little self indulgent too.
Isn't that fucking ex-ambassadors too on the
hook? Fucking awful, man. They ruined one of his best songs too, Headlights.
Oh yeah.
Fucking oh my god.
Wait, no, that wasn't them. That was what's his name?
Oh, Nate Russ.
Yeah.
Never mind. They all sound. All these white singers sound the same. All these features are terrible. All these. We'll get into more of the fucking features in a bit because we haven't. The next feature is gonna be funny. Yeah, Bad Husbands. Sentiment's good. Terrible song though. It's too long. It's fucking awful. And his flow. Shut up. Anyways. And then the next one, Tragic Ending, featuring Skylar Grey.
Your favorite singer.
Yeah. Fucking just shit. Yeah, no. As I was I'm looking at my notes. Each note is like, I fucking hate this shit. It's like, I could tell through my notes, I'm like very, very getting tired of this album. It's fucking a chore to go through.
It was, like I said, as I mentioned earlier, I legit wanted this album to be fucking over.
Yeah, it sounds like a recovery fucking trash bin leftover. I hate when he's talking about his toxic relationships with women. I don't know if the Hicks of Skylar Grey's audience like it. But I guess
you talk about me being fucking mean.
I was just the only person I can hear fucking listening to this are a bunch of fucking Hicks who hate hip hop. Hick hating hip hop heads.
But specifically Skylar Grey.
That doesn't help things either. Oh, but yeah, when she's singing in the song, I'm dying. I'm like, same. The way he ends the verse, each verse he ends it very terribly, and it's so oddly mixed. Anything else you want to add to that track?
No, it was bad.
And then your favorite track, Framed.
Okay, so with me, I remember when I re-listened to this. Like I said, it had been a long time, and also not to mention, it had been a long time since I heard that song.
Yeah,
which is crazy because that was actually one of the songs that I enjoyed from the album. And I will say that even listening to it back the other day,
yeah,
I still do like it because it gives me and we apologize for whatever the fuck's going on outside.
Yeah, there's a lot of going on that would question.
But also too, it's because we're recording pretty late because it is afternoon now.
Yeah.
And we usually record in the morning, so hence probably that's why there's more noise outside.
Yeah.
But
I fell asleep while getting ready.
Yeah, fucking bitch ass pull a fucking Patrick and fell asleep on the couch, dude.
And then we took a while to set up, and then we recorded a whole 20-minute thing, and then we had to turn it off because was taking longer than expected to set everything up.
So
it was a little delayed. Yeah, but Framed,
I still do enjoy it, although the hook, or I was gonna say, I enjoy it because it gives me Relapse vibes.
Yeah,
it could have been something on Relapse, but although the hook is fucking horrible.
Yeah, it's really bad. All these songs have terrible fucking hooks. Even it's really bad when you have to make Beyonce sing a terrible hook. It really is such wasted potential. Not to mention with all these features, no rappers on here either besides Fresher. Like, this is a hip hop album with no fucking like hip hop feeling, barely. So it's just like it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, but like the Burger King burglary line he ended on, I think is very stupid. I think the bars are there. I just don't like the way he flows within the song. Like, I think it's just like like everything's like similar to a lot of things on this album. Everything just feels like it's contrasting each other. Like the beats don't match the words, that don't match the flow. Like everything about like the choices he does, whether they be small or big, I feel like is like the worst choice he could have gotten to. And then track Nowhere Fast.
That was with Kalani, right?
Yeah. Ashes wanna get like that. It's not a diss on her singing. I just don't like the way it starts off like that. And it's like, first of all, produced by Hit Boy.
Damn. That's sad.
It's with what the fuck was he on? With terrible mixing and placement of certain pauses that, like, how sometimes like the beat drops real quick and then they drop, so like Eminem can say like a certain line. Terrible way to do it in this song. If you want a bad example of that type of thing in a rap song, this is it. And I don't really have much to say about that track. It's just like, it's like a fucking fart. It just blows away with the wind and then it disappears. And then it's just like, and then track 13, I put Kill Me, because it's a heat.
Oh my god.
Now talk about a Cranberry song that just like they fucking ruin again. Like,
and again too, why the fuck no, I'm not gonna say that. Because I'm pretty sure he's done other projects that have been good. Yeah. But it's like, I got really tired of him collaborating with Rick Rubin.
Yeah, and I'm not saying
and again, I was gonna say something.
But like, I think like just Eminem, I think I worked once with Berserk because like he was trying to go with that Beastie Boys type shit. Yeah. And Rick Rubin's a very important figure in like hip hop, from the Beastie Boys shit to the Run DMC shit. Like, I also want us to talk about here. We are also just going through it from a pure hip hop viewpoint with a lot of hip hop knowledge here. We fucking live and breathe this shit. So it's just like, because we really care about it, and I certainly care about like the history factor of it too. So I get why Eminem will be working with Rick Rubin. He's like a very influential person within his music lineup, especially like Beastie Boys and all that stuff. And like the late 80s, early 90s hip hop shit. But also like, it's like, These songs don't sound good. They just get popular rock songs and just don't do basically anything with them besides maybe placing a vocal sample here and there, dropping a beat from the guitar. But like, it feels like very lazily produced and all that song.
And it sucks too because it's like he's done good fucking rock beats before. Like, he can sing for the moment.
And a lot of Eminem's show has a lot of rock elements that work really fucking good. At least I do. I know a lot of people who like more hip hop oriented don't really like the production of Eminem's show, but for me, who likes both hip hop and like classic rock,
those tracks are
like
fucking
and they're fucking like the rock influence in Eminem's show is actually fucking amazing. And Berserk worked well too. Like, that was like a song that, like, even though it's not my favorite Eminem song, but it worked really well. So when Rick Rubin's producing these rock
people that know fucking that know about that Aerosmith song because of fucking Sing for the Moment.
Yeah, exactly, and introduced like a whole new generation to like Aerosmith and like that. Like, it's just like, why are these so bad though? Like, why are they just so lazily fucking produced and shit, and it's just like, it's so half-assed. And the way he ends the song too, he's like unless it's the middle finger to finger you, and it's just like oh, just like, that's the way you're gonna end this song. And I'm like, really? Like, it's just like, it's trying to be like Slim Shady type shit, but it's more like Fat Facade. So it's just
shut up. All right, so
oh my god, that's such a terrible song. I can't believe joke I wrote that. Then terrible structure all around. Fuck that song. And then track Offended, which is actually my favorite.
Your favorite song, and it has I'll get this out the way first so you can talk about why you like it.
Yeah.
But
did you like it?
This has quite possibly one of the worst fucking Eminem bars I've ever heard in my entire life, and I had forgotten about it. And as soon as I fucking heard it, I had to text you immediately. Because when this motherfucker says, "I'm so narcissistic, when I fart, I sniff it,"
do a fake dab on my arm and whiff it.
I was like, what in the...
I actually kind of like that part.
Fuck you. I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck?
I actually really kind of... Because, like
you would... Why is it that all the shit I hate you like?
Because it's actually kind of funny to me. It's like, you're so narcissistic when I fart.
I told my line. I told that
when I do a dab, I go into my arm and sniff it.
I said that fucking fart line. I said that to my my nephew the other day when I was the other day when I was listening to it.
Yeah.
And he started cracking the fuck up.
But it's such a funny bar. Like, I'm sorry because it's not like a fucking wind chimes bar. It's not like a stupid half-ass forced metaphor. But it's just like, I'm so narcissistic when I fart, sniff, and do an arm dab and get a whiff it. Oh my god. But like, there's a lot of flows in here that I actually really think he was like going in on. I think there's a lot of like the racial blow up doll of Rachel Dolezal. That shit is still like a very funny.
That's another
line.
song with a horrible ass fucking hook.
Yeah, it's just like this song really is ruined by the hook. Like, there's no replay value to go back to analyze these bars because the hook is really fucking bad. And the way there's like weird instrument placement sometimes, like there's random pianos, like strings that come in here and there that like fucking terribly placed. Try to be like, oh, look at the nuance and shit of like the production, but like it's just like feels out of place and weird every time you hear something like that, which is all throughout the album. Yeah, it's chorus really ruins the song, leaves no desire to go back. Yeah. And then the next one, Need Me, featuring Pink.
Oh.
Or like featuring Eminem.
Oh yeah, because she like mainly sings, huh?
Yeah, and I don't mind like rappers giving singers like a bulk of the song. In fact, I actually kind of enjoy it when like R&B singers or the type of singers try to go on a track and take a lot of a song if they're good. I don't think Pink was that good in this song at all.
So let's skip it.
This is like way bad, like way awful shit. Yeah,
it was barely an Eminem song.
Yeah, and then In Your Head. Oh, In Your Head is the one with the Cranberry song. My bad, folks. I completely forgot. But like, yeah, that's also very
that has Skylar Grey too, huh?
It has no, it does. It's the sample from the Cranberry song. Yeah, but like it's fucking terrible. Yeah, it's like I think I wrote down "Good God." Like I was like done. I was like, please, just like end this. This is a relationship about America. It's just like still an ass. Like I get like maybe these relationship songs about like relationship songs but like relationship songs.
Relationship schlongs? What the fuck? The fuck did you say?
I know. I was like, that's why I said it again. I was like, relationship schlongs. I'm like, what? Oh man, but like, no, it's just repugnant, repetitive, and all these songs are like terrible. It's like I get like him being feeling self-doubt and stuff and being open. Like he's very open. That's what sucks about this album too. He's very open about himself. He's real. Like he listened to Damn and was like, let me try this, and then like did it like kind of in the worst ways possible. Because Damn's about the personal and America a lot too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just like it's crazy, but like I get why he's opening himself up like this, and I appreciate it. But the way he goes about it is it's just irritating. It's really irritating. Yeah, that song is terrible.
So then we're got to Cash on the Rose now, right?
Yeah,
these are the last. Combine those into two or into one sense. It's like basically going. It's like those songs basically go into one. You don't want to keep talking about it? I want to end this as soon as possible. But
like you really.
Like I said, I hadn't listened to the album since around the time it came out, so going to have to go back and listen to it for this, I fucking hated every minute of it.
Oh man, you gave it your excuse is like, I liked 4 songs, 6 out of 10.
Crazy how that went from like 4 songs to 2.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it got way lower. I'm guessing a way lower score. Yeah. And then Cast on a Rose, which is basically
there's basically like a context song. Like the first one is him writing letters to his daughter. Yeah. In different periods of his life. Yeah. And then the last one is right before I think he OD'd in like 2007. Mm-hmm. Then basically a rose goes into that, and it goes into what would have happened, or like all the shit he wouldn't have been able to do if he actually would have passed away back then. Yeah. And
very emotional songs that I think are very.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Those 2 songs are fucking amazing. The way that they like basically connect with each other. Connect with each other, but they don't fucking fit on this album.
No, it's like fucking. It's like crazy. I think it's also a quality thing. Because like just all these songs are shit except these 2 kind of. And then I think this album is so disjointed of like what it wants to be. You know, it's trying to be like a Hamilton meets Damn type shit, talking about America, but also himself. You know, but like it goes about everything in the wrong way possible, from the beats to the words, to the production to the structure. Because last time I listened to it, it wasn't actually not that long ago, actually, just to analyze it, of like what he was trying to do with the structure. I thought, I was like, okay, I understand why Believe goes here and Chloroceptic goes here and like that goes here. But listening to it again now, I kind of lost the answers that I first found, because I'm listening to the flow of the album, and I'm like, I don't understand not only all of these songs. I think it's also because all these songs are fucking long. Yeah. Like this album is an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and 17 to be exact. It's just as long as Mr. Morale right now, and it didn't really need to be that fucking long. A lot of these songs, if not all the songs, could been cut like a fucking minute, including the 20-second interlude. And it's just like putting these last two songs, like, these are good songs, but I'm not gonna raise my score because these songs feel so out of it. You know, these feel so out of place. You know, and like, it's like very frustrating, but like also kind of amazing that we was able to make an album like this. And we were there when we were there witnessing everybody.
I just realized around the time that this happened, I think this is also around the time that Kanye was doing his run of projects with like
that happened Nas. That happened a few months later, like the Nas Pusha T.
No, I know I'm saying, but it was still around that same time. So yeah, this motherfucker should have just got fucking Kanye. They should produce like a fucking four track fucking EP.
Oh my god,
that would have been better than this shit.
But then Kanye was saying like that slave stuff. Remember? Eminem probably should be like, I'm gonna go on it. I agree and shit.
I would have preferred that shit over this, though.
I know, it was like they had very different political beliefs, but also like that would have been a interesting collab at least. But also,
wait, I just thought of what it quite possibly could be one of the weirdest and most unnecessary combinations ever. But why? Like, what do you think a fucking Kanye produced Eminem album would sound like?
Oh God, especially that time, 2018, 2017. That could have been interesting, but that could have been scary too. That could have been like, cause that Nas album, I know you like it, but I fucking hated that shit.
I didn't mind it.
I hated that shit. I think that's like Nas's worst album. Is that Nas Year album?
Bonjour is my shit.
Oh yeah, you like fucking Bonjour. Oh God, I think I gave you shit of that time too. But like, yeah.
But anyways,
I would have definitely been more better than this album. This like still, and to this day, I'm glad like I think at the time he was doing interviews because Kamikaze came out like the impact of the negativity of this album.
Just in case y'all wondering, that's how bad this fucking album is. That he had to release another follow up album 6 months later.
Yeah, and it's just like and that aged like milk too. But like the whole impact and negativity of this album really did like some damage to Eminem's like
that really did it. You can tell that shit hurt his ego.
Yeah, it's just like it's like and like at one time I'm like, oh, I kind of like feel bad because like you put a lot of work into this. But also like a lot of these things could have been prevented if you just had other opinions in the room that were like very more objective.
Yeah, like Bob, somebody should have been telling him like, nah, bro.
Like it was just like, and and he could have had like all the rappers to symbolize like the destruction
now that
of
you
America.
mentioned that earlier, I don't think Eminem hasn't. He doesn't really feature, especially nowadays. He doesn't really feature other rappers like that.
Yeah, I think like more recently, within like the last couple years, like a couple albums maybe, but like around this time, no.
And not only that,
around this time, no.
More specifically, artists from his own fucking label.
Yeah, like he's gotten better at doing that for sure, but like now, like at this time, especially 2017, it was like the fall off of Slaughterhouse. Joe Budden was going in on him and shit. This is how like that Joe Budden shit really fell down from Slim Shady shit.
Yeah.
It was because of like his reactions, to Revival and like the YouTube Twitter space was also going in on this album, so there was a lot of traction going around about that, and like a lot of those reaction channels were at their peaks as well. So a lot of those videos got views. A lot of the Revival reaction reviews got a lot of views.
You know what? That's something that I want to do. After later on today, I'll probably fucking go on YouTube. And I want to rewatch people's reactions to this album.
Yeah, no. Actually, people weren't the most harshest on this album. Certain negative, but like
depends on who you watch.
Yeah, that is true. But like, I will say,
we know a channel that they fucking roasted him.
Yeah, no, it's just. But also, one of my favorite Anthony Fantana reviews is his Revival review. That brings me joy. It's a really fucking funny, very thrashing of that album, which I still don't think he went that harsh in, to be honest, but he was still pretty fucking brutal. Yeah. But like it's like fucking it's cathartic, and it's fucking, because I was, as an Eminem fan that really liked MMLP2, I was really fucking like, that a lot of people were like, Eminem fucking falling off sucks. Even like during MMLP, I was like, this is like good. This is like a really good mix of like Eminem and Slim Shady. I hope he continues this. And then he makes Revival, and I was like, wow, you really like put like the flame on that. On that, like I really was like, as a fan, I was like, oh Jesus, what the fuck? You have a worse album than Logic? Like this year, and that album, Everybody album, was really fucking bad too.
But so kind of just to finally wrap this topic up.
Yeah, no, it left a big mark.
This was a really bad album by a really good artist.
Very out of place in his discography too. That you texted me that as well.
Some, like this one where I'm like, if I were Eminem, I would want to fucking forget this one.
Yeah, it's just like.
So no, that's gonna wrap up our unfortunate review.
Yeah, 0 out of 10 for me.
I'm never going back to this shit again.
Yeah, me neither. I think this is the final time I'm going back to this.
But so
it's really bad.
To wrap it up, let's
the worst album.
Give from shitty music to good music that we've been listening to.
Yeah,
let's give our recommendations.
Yeah, Ricky Rex.
So do you want to go first, or?
Yeah, because yeah, actually, you know what? I listened to this album like a few days ago because it just dropped, and at first listen, I actually didn't really like it. I was a little disappointed, but second and third listen, it grew the fuck on me. Like I actually really like this album now. Ab Soul's new album, Soul Burger, that came out.
Oh, you actually listened to it?
Yeah.
Oh, I still haven't gotten a chance.
Yeah, that came out on the 8th of November. And at first I was like, I don't know if I like this. And at the end of it, I was like, I don't think I like this. But then I replayed it a second and third time. And it's fucking amazing. The way he starts off that album and the way he ends that album, amazing. Text me, because like that first track is actually kind of nuts. You text me when you listen to that first track. Yeah, but like Soul Burger, Ab Soul, actual good hip hop.
I'm hoping that I like that album when I listen to it.
Yeah.
But
you're going to really like the first track, though. I guarantee
it. So mine is going to be actually a kind of a throwback. This is from a artist by the name of Bryson Tiller. And this is from his 2015 album, Trap Soul. And the song that I'm going to recommend is called Exchange. It's just a really dope, vibey, like R&B type of vibe song. And I just really like it. It's one of my go-tos whenever I want to get in like that R&B mood.
Yeah.
So again, that is from the artist Bryson Tiller, and that is off his 2015 album Trap Soul, and the song is called Exchange.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
That's a classic right there.
But that's going to be it for this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed. I know we talked about a lot of bullshit.
Stay positive.
But, I mean, we had to. It was kind of the tone of what's going on.
I think we talked about 4 Eminem albums this year.
Which I hate you for. But anyways.
One came out this year, and that was actually not that bad.
But
at least he grew. At least he grew as an artist.
That's going to be it for this episode, and we hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.